All right, back in July, I kind of revisited student loans on like in a 90 days kind of that repayment approach, like a kind of brute force approach, and then talked about kind of 5 different options. And I put out a video covering one of the 5 in like a very centric video sense, and it really covered 2 kind of the options, and they were like paycheck, money from a soulmate, money from my Papa Craig, money from an investor for my physiology stuff, and then money from the will and testament of one of my soulmates. And so there's like a living and dead, you could say, or deceased per public image at the time. And so I have a video for the legacy funds, kind of fidelity test with legacy funds from my man. And so I was like, I thought I had signed up for something I need to do with student loans. And I went through and I clicked on a bunch of stuff, and whatever I did wasn't right, although it signs me up anyway, default. So I think technically I don't have to take action, but I'm trying to be smart. And so I was like, there's 4 more I haven't covered in a centric sense. So this is Sunday, 23 August 2026, AD, and I'm Tanis of Seattle, and I'm going to address one of them in a little bit of a different approach, but it's one of the options, money from a soulmate. So I'm going to turn this one, this gets a dedicated video in the sense of hindsight, ruminating, soulmate as co-signer on my student loans. So essentially, I'm okay with this option because something must have been true in my time going to school that I would have accepted support from my soulmate financially. And I think at that point in time, there's like they're my soulmate, like if they'd been like, I'll give you money, I'm like, I still want, so I worked and I went to school and I took on student loans. And in a basic sense of like, this is about kind of, I think if they had given me money, I had a little bit of financial support from my family, so that'd be kind of like them taking over that role. But a number in my family did not co-sign. I'm the sole signer, sole heir to my own student loans debt. And so essentially, if a soulmate had co-signed, then they could pay them off as well. I think it would have, I think, perhaps been like, because there's school, like tuition and fees, room and board, that kind of stuff. And I was like, which is pretty pricey. So I was like, as a dollar amount of support at the time from them that I might have been like capped at would be like $14,000 a year, and 14 for like February, 14 Valentine's Day. As for the co-signer part, I think that actually would have been a great, what was that, a fidelity test, kind of like both ways, that you can help me, but like a balance there would be like if they provided, so instead of me getting support from like the family that I did, like support from my soulmate, and then they co-sign and being like, if you're a co-signer, I want to pay them off if I can, kind of thing, dream space, so to speak, in kind of balancing, don't blame him or ask him to pay it off, or my soulmate to pay it off, or soulmates, that soulmate in this case, really being like, us both learning boundaries so that they get kind of paid off in a dream sense, or as close to a dream sense as we could do. So there we go. I'm open to money for my soulmate as a form of paying off my student loans in a 90 days kind of brute force approach. I was like, would I have accepted support from my soulmate at the time had they come forward and done it? I was like, yes. And this is one where I might have actually had a little bit of a different output, where I might have had a co-signer on my student loans and a co-signer of my soulmate.